What's up everyone, welcome back to Switchcraft, and it's a great day to be a gamer. Today I found someone on YouTube who has a different opinion than me. Big surprise. But this is someone who I respect, and have been watching consistently for a long time. He was actually a gentleman who I reached out to for advice when I first started my channel because I like his style and I respect his opinion. I've never done anything exactly like this before, and the last thing that I want to do is start drama. Or be that ant-sized YouTube channel that just trolls the big guys. So, DreamcastGuy, I love you and I'm going to continue watching everything you put out, but we disagree on Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. On November 7th, you put out a video explaining why you will not be buying the newest Pokemon games for the Switch. I'd like to address your points in order with the intent of perhaps persuading you to inevitably give them a try. With that being said, let's start dissecting your video, and if anyone watching this would like to watch this video in its entirety, I left a link to it in the description. I encourage you to watch it and leave him a polite note that I sent you, regardless of who you agree with. First up, DreamcastGuy, thanks for sharing your earliest Pokemon story. I have a similar one that started with me getting this lime green Game Boy Color for my birthday at the end of 4th grade, and by the time I was in 5th grade, I had this copy of Pokemon Blue, and my little bro had this copy of Pokemon Red. We both sunk hundreds and hundreds of hours into the game, and it was the gateway to owning and 100%ing almost every Pokemon game since, developing an unhealthy addiction for Pokemon cards, and watching every episode of the animated show. But you then go on to state your first premise, and this is where our paths diverge. In addition to art design, you argue that these games went on to explode in popularity because at their core they're pretty tough. I would make the argument that Pokemon in fact caught on because it was so easily consumable by the masses, and at its core, intuitive and not that hard or complicated at all. The great art direction provided a range of wicked and relatable characters that you could catch, raise, battle, and call your own. It was done in a much more simple way than in any other RPG at the time. It captured the imagination of gamers and took RPGs and allowed them to be played by people that weren't up for the daunting lore and mechanics of other titles of the day. This game was one that anyone from age 6 to 86 could pick up and figure out. Now I'll grant you that they may have to run into some difficulty spikes, like figuring out where that damn Pokeflute was, and before the internet and YouTube and walkthroughs, just like I did. Or realizing that you were massively underpowered the first time you took on Lorelei, Bruno, Agatha, Lance, and your rival in the original Elite Four. But the mechanics were simple, the story straightforward, and you more or less always knew which direction you had to go in. Unless you went into the rock tunnel without flash like the first time I did. But moving forward, I want to address some of the circumstances around how you formed your opinion, and a couple of disclaimers on my end. First up, there's no denying that you've played a demo and I haven't. Let's get that out there. I'm unsure how much of the demo you've played, but in even a few seconds, you would have more experience than me. With that being said, if it was a demo, you should consider that it could be the first couple of minutes of gameplay you'll be able to access at something like a Best Buy kiosk for months and months, showcasing the game that you can pick up from just over there behind the counter. These things are meant to be easy to give a kid or other passerby that positive feedback rush you get from success early and often in video games. It's pretty much standard across the industry, and it's what gets people coming back for more. I do not mean to educate or lecture you, but consider that the first few minutes of the sacred Pokemon Red and Blue. You begin in your room, go downstairs, walk out the front door, and are stopped by Professor Oak the second you walk into the tall grass. He valets you back to his lab and hands you a Pokemon of your choosing. Battle your new rival, and boom, you've grown a level. Make your way to Viridian City because there's nowhere else to go and nothing else to do. All paths are blocked thanks to a locked door to Victory Road and a passed out drunk, leaving you no choice but to enter the mart. You get the package, bring it back to Oak, where you just came from, and good luck making it back without being level 10 already. Those level 2 and 3 Pidgeys and Rattatas along Route 1 don't take more than a hit or two to crush either. It's not exactly not player friendly. I don't mean to sound sarcastic or berating, but all things considered, I wouldn't consider it challenging. Where we do agree is with Nintendo's intention with Pokemon Let's Go, placating longtime Pokemon fans with a new game on the new hardware, while trying to bring over people who might have had only the cell phone game as exposure. At first, I was worried about this as well. Maybe not so much worried as downright disappointed. Hearing that it would be something to capitalize on Pokemon Go players, I thought this wouldn't even really be a Pokemon game. I later found out that, apart from perhaps a few more tutorials and more straightforward wild Pokemon encounters, the battling system would remain the same. The story would remain the same. The map would more or less remain the same. The vast majority of the things that make you fall in love with the game when you knew nothing else about it are the things that they've held on to. And make no mistake, Nintendo is banking on the fact that a lot of people making the jump from Pokemon Go will have Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu as their first experience. For the rest of us diehards like you and I, it'll be a trip down nostalgia lane with modern graphics and tech. To really get the most from this game, you have to forget everything you know about previous games. Forget everything previous Pokemon games taught you. And with that state of mind, maybe this game won't be so easy after all. I understand your sentiment, not wanting to hand over even 1 cent of your hard-earned money for a game that gave you this first impression. I can appreciate that stand you've taken. With that being said, I would like to make you an offer. Not a trade or a bargain, an offer. If you would be willing to reconsider your initial thoughts and give this game a fair shake, play it through to the end, then I would be willing to buy and ship you your very own copy. You just provide the address you'd like it shipped to, and I'll Amazon Prime that baby to you on release day. Maybe you don't even get around to watching this video before launch. That's okay, this is an open offer. Your acceptance or refusal can remain private if you wish. Hell, you can even watch every second of this video, decide to do nothing. But on my channel, my motto is, it's a great day to be a gamer. And hey, I know a free Pokemon game would make my day a little greater. Either way, Dreamcast Guy, I love your content. I'm going to keep consuming it. Perhaps most importantly, I promise I'll keep dreaming. Thank you for your consideration. It is a great day to be a gamer. Switchcraft out.